I'm so tired, rookie. We've been walking in the desert for miles, but we're finally here. The Great Pyramid. Hand the Great Water Scroll for me real quick, rookie. Thank you.
I feel so much better. Alright, we're at the tail end of the journey through the desert. All we have to do is that Sphinx over there? That's the Sphinx over there. We have to solve the Sphinx's riddle, get into the pyramid, deal with an Anubis, scorpions, because there's always scorpions, and then we get the teleport circle, and then we end up somewhere. And the reason I say somewhere is because I am not 100% confident that this circle will get us to our desired location, but it'll get us close enough. So while I go over how Sphinxes are on an instinctive level, here is a book of 1,000 riddles. Please read the book of 1,000 riddles. You're going to need it. This is the most important thing you will have in your life. The Sphinx is a beastman type monster girl that belongs to the family of cats. Their habitats are deserts, their natures are selfish and capricious, their diets are omnivorous. They favor meat, though. The Sphinx is a kind of werecat that lives in deserts. Like other members of the cat family, Sphinxes possess astounding physical dexterity and excel in intellect and magic. Their role is to guard the ruins where a pharaoh sleeps. In concert with the Anubis, the guardian of the interior, the Sphinx guards the exterior, cursing those who approach the wreckage. A Sphinx casts a powerful curse of beguilement upon any man who heads for the pharaoh's resting place. This curse comes in the form of a riddle. Any who answer the riddle incorrectly will be cursed with lust for the Sphinx. He will long for her embrace and offer up his body to the whims of her lust. On the other hand, if the man does answer the riddle correctly, the curse is placed upon the riddler, the Sphinx. However, all of this means is that she will long to make love to him in the same manner as the other monsters, straddling his hips, and she will ride him in a wild and beastly fashion, as if to punish him for approaching the ruins. In doing so, she extracts his essence. Meanwhile, other curses may be placed. The Sphinx poses more riddles while the man is destabilized by her devastating pleasure. Too sated to even understand her questions, much less answer them. Thus, he will become even more abjectly enthralled by the Sphinx and her curses. Sphinxes often pose riddles that function differently than the curse described above. Such exchanges tend to be determined by the success of her partner's answers. Where a deleterious effect is not always the result of a wrong answer, as in the case of a curse, answering a Sphinx's riddles correctly is nevertheless likely to prove advantageous when conversing with her. Unlike the Anubis, the Sphinx has little loyalty to the pharaoh and puts her desire to find a man before her guard duty. She ignores any women that approach the ruins, leaving them for the Anubis. Men, however, she milks for their seed. If they are to her liking, she will forsake her post to take them to her chambers for extended intercourse. If she decides to make him her husband, she will rarely be found at her post, choosing instead to stay inside to couple with her husband. Reports say that some Sphinxes have been so taken by men who correctly answered the riddles that they abandoned the ruins entirely or even helped them rob the tomb. With this information, we can safely say that the Sphinx has a threat level of high. They pose a serious threat to a single hunter. The key features of the Sphinx are their catgirl physicality, along with any reflexes, speed that they may share along with other catgirl species. They also have riddle-based curses, and they are loyal to men, not the Anubis in certain cases. This makes their weaknesses as blatant as can be. Because of their cat nature, they are also weak to catnip. And if you have any semblance or knowledge of riddles, you can easily solve theirs and reverse the curse back at them. And acknowledging their position as guard cat of a pyramid, and their weakness to catnip, they can easily be convinced to just let you do whatever you want, so long as you have the proper conditions. That is to say that the Sphinx doesn't have a fair share of strengths on their side. For one, we can easily say that they have high speed and dexterity, much like a cat landing on their feet. Also, who in their right mind would know the answer to a riddle in the middle of a desert while they're probably dehydrated? That alone is a strength towards the Sphinx. And you know, lust-based curses. That's a given. To prepare for a Sphinx encounter, you should have any of the following: a bag of catnip, a book of riddles, maybe a piece of string? I'll explain that one later. As far as encountering a Sphinx, it's quite easy. They can be found anywhere near ruins of pharaohs. These are most likely going to be pyramids. And since they're not known to move around, it's easy to find one if you just walk around the pyramid a bit. The first method of subjugation is the catnip bomb. First, you must encounter the Sphinx. Then use the catnip on the Sphinx. While she is distracted, you can run or enter the ruins. The most important step is to make sure you have enough catnip left that a subsequent encounter is no problem. The second method of subjugation is solving its riddle. You must first encounter the Sphinx, solve the riddle Sphinx, and you now have free reign of the ruin so long as you can keep solving her riddles. You also may have a Sphinx following you around for a bit. Good job, Hunter. The third method, and probably the worst outcome, is failing to solve the riddle. You must first encounter the Sphinx, fail to solve the Sphinx's riddle. You are now captured by the Sphinx. You also have her as a wife. Good job, Hunter? I think? My final thoughts on the Sphinx are definite 8 out of 10. It's got a decent design with the straight hair, the tan skin, and markings on their body to differentiate themselves from the werecats enough. And also, it's got curses still following the whole ancient Egyptian mythos. Good job, Sphinx. You understand now? Solve the riddle, get into the ruins, get lost a bit because I'm not sure what the layout of a pyramid is, find the teleport circle, and we are free to continue our journey further. However, I do feel like I'm missing a few steps, like very important steps that I shouldn't be forgetting, but we'll be fine, rookie. Let's continue into the pyramid. Let's give a huge shout out for the following people. Thank you to Pharaoh71 for their contribution during the Save the Guild Donathon. Thank you to Tiku B Vivin, The Sounds of Kiki, The Sleepiest Gamer, and Finny VT for their participation in this year's Huntathon. And last but not least, thank you to our channel member, BonesMD98. And please consider helping out this instructor by becoming a channel member today. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you all soon. Good hunting out there, rookies.